Good evening. This is the Real Sports Fan Podcast, back for another episode. It is the first episode in April. It is Monday, April the 5th, 7:06 p.m. And we are back, season 4, episode number 7. And got another very special guest, a guy that needs no introductions, been on the show before. I've been on his show before. Good brother, Devon POV Mason is in the building. What's good, bro?
Thanks for having me on, man. It's a pleasure to be able to come back and always chop it up with you, man. You know, me and you get together, man. We can go all night. So, we have to rein it in sometime. But it's a pleasure, man. I'm just thankful to have the opportunity to come on here and chop it up with you again, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Man, likewise, man. We got a lot to talk about. I do want to give you a proper introduction, man. And before we get into the sports that I want to get into tonight, you've been doing a lot of new things, a lot of different things. Obviously, they know you from the POV Sports Show on Soul Talk 100. That's every Monday. Catch that right after this show tonight, 8 p.m. So get done with this and then go check that out. And then obviously you're now a writer and author of the Shadow League. Also, you got the podcast coming out with Gamble. I want you to talk about that. And then recently, contributor to the new website MLBBro.com. That's run by Rob Parker. So I just want to give you this space, man, to just tell everybody, man, what you got going on, man. You got a lot going on, man, and I'm proud of you, man. So let the people know.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the introduction. Basically, I'm a writer, author for the Shadow League, which is a Black outlet for sports, media, culture, and we focus on everything. But our main goal is to try to bring it back to us as Black people, for our culture. So, we will delve into like other races and stuff. That's just what we do. But the meat of what we want to capture is writing about our own. Like anything that our own accomplishes, anything that our own does, we want to give them their shout out. We want to give them their props. And we touch history. Like we do a lot of things with entertainment. For Women's History Month, we did a lot of stuff for things that have passed, and then I wrote some up-to-date stuff about the mayor in Boston becoming a Black woman, first Black person ever, and it's on the East, things like that. We try to touch things that, and then that's sort of the meat of what we do. We do like interviews too. I've interviewed Doug Williams and some other most elite sports writers in the country. And just elements to have that look out. It's all who you know now. Which then we Urban Spotlight blogger, which is a media outlet, run by some people that's connected to Cardi B and things like. That's pretty big, awesome in there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you fine. I can hear. Yeah, you good. You go. We're gonna end out a little bit, but you good. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay. Some things with Cardi B, that website, just some little blogging, basically gossip, ratchet stuff, ain't nothing really, that you sit and holler about, but it's a nice little something to do. It's a chance to put your name out there in the atmosphere a little bit more. And then my newest venture is MLBBro.com, which is a website dedicated to the Black and brown baseball players. Because, baseball is a sport where, Dominicans, Latinos, Caucasians, they get a lot of the love. And, they're in their right. They're great players. But we want to focus on the Black and brown players that don't get as much love. The guys that came before, the guys that are there now, as well as the guys that are doing things now. So that's a Rob Parker website that he started April 1st, opening day. And I'm a contributor through Duke Gamble with that as well, and connected to that. And also, that's pretty much it. You want me to talk about the podcast, or you want to ask me something about that first?
It's up to you. I don't want to step ahead of you, but I would like to. I'm excited about it.
Okay, well, I'll wait for you to talk. I'll wait for you. That's pretty much me. That's pretty much me.
No, but I do want to hear it. Go ahead. I want to hear about it because I want to know when it's coming out. Because I know you and Duke Gamble got some content. So tell us when the podcast is coming out, the name of it, and all that good stuff. And also about your other endeavor, the end of this month. with the NFL draft.
Okay, got you. Bet. So me and Duke Gamble, who I'm with on the Shadow League, and MLB Bro, and Urban Spotlight, we on all three together. We had this thing we talked about in July about when I first started. Me and him just met in July, and we met through Dondre. Dondre knew him through some other folks, and Dondre was like, "I'm gonna connect you to my man because I think you and him could kind of, mesh. I think y'all got the same kind of personality. Y'all fit each other, and it was just a good fit. So we decided we're gonna do a podcast called Gamble with POV, and it's gonna be your regular podcast. Do things. We're gonna have debates. We're gonna have trivia nights, statistician night. It's gonna be different things. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna mix it up and have fun with it, and just try to be normal but not normal. You know what I mean? Be that podcast that goes outside the box. So he's in the midst of getting his whole podcast room up in Long Island set up. So we're probably gonna end up doing it there. So I'm probably gonna commute up there a couple times a week. We're gonna do it that way. So once that gets done, then we're gonna unveil it. We were thinking unveiling it right now, but he was like, he's trying to get this podcast room together. So when that room is together, then we're gonna really.
That's dope.
Early summer, we're gonna push it back a while because we talked about that. So that's the goal, to get my stuff set up so we can do it on both ends, and then maybe I can commute to him, he commute to me sometime, and we can do it together in the same, like All the Smoke did. All the Smoke, and like you do with yours. Yeah. If people come over, you go to other people's. It's something different about being in the same room. You know what I'm saying? It makes a difference to me. So that's what we're doing. But that's gonna be the podcast, and we're gonna have some guests. I mean, he got a lot of contacts. He knows a lot of people, so he's gonna use that knowing people to get some people on there that you probably would have heard of, a lot of sports people that, and pretty big in the business. We're going to have them. And then we're going to do the regular barbershop set. Like, we're going to have just the regular everyday guys like us sit and chop it up and just talk sports and just be men. You know what I'm saying? Just be men.
Yeah.
Men need that outlet. That's our outlet. So, you know what I'm saying? That's
definitely,
our outlet.
Man.
So
definitely.
That's what we're doing. And you said at the end of the month, I'll be in Easton at the Easton Cigar and Smoke on the 30th of the month. We're doing a second and third round draft party sponsored by the Crab Bowl and Tony Kennedy. He runs the TD Report, which is a podcast that he has on social media. And we're going to be just doing the second, third round draft of the draft. And I'm basically going to be your Mel Kiper, Todd McShay. So basically for the last 3 months, I've been putting together draft possibilities, who could go where they may go. And as it unveils, then I'll give you why they did this or why they didn't. So basically I've been really doing work on about 120 players for them 2 rounds, just trying to make sure I'm ready, and no matter which way they decide to go.
No matter what.
It's good stuff. I got one quick thing. Tremaine Thomas, don't you? He saw Mel Kiper Jr.
Oh yeah.
He saw Mel Kiper Jr. in the Safeway on Kent Island this morning.
That's crazy.
And
he
asked
wow.
Mel, he saw him in the Safeway, and he texted me and said, I saw Mel. I said, yeah, he lived on Kent Island, and Brian Billick lived behind Queenstown. So he was like, what? I said, yeah, them coaches live over there, man. They got money, man. They want to live by the water and just be calm. They out the way. And he was like, I didn't know that. He said, I was talking to him, and I mentioned that you was always talking about the draft, and he was talking to Brian Billick, to Mel Kiper about it. And he was mentioning me, and I was like, what you mentioning me for? He said, because you be telling me stuff, and I was asking him, was that right? And he was like, yeah, that sounds right to me. So that's pretty dope. But that's what we're doing. On the 30th of April, we'll be in Easton from 7 until the end of the third round, 7 p.m. Probably be there by 5 setting up. But it should be dope. We're going to be on Instagram, Facebook, and I believe Twitter. We're going to be on all the platforms you can be on. So we'll have it. I'll give everybody the update as to what we're really going to do and how we're going to do it as we get closer. But it should be a nice, it's just something different, something to do. And like I said, who wouldn't, get to come out, hang out, talk a little sports for a couple hours, see what the draft doing, keep it moving. That's pretty much it, man.
Man, that's dope, man.
Pretty much it.
That's dope, man. Pretty much it after all that. Pretty much it.
That's pretty much it, man. Yeah, man.
Man, I love it. I love it, though, man. Like you said, it's funny because and we'll get into our sports topics right after I say this, but it's funny because remember, I don't know if you remember a couple of months ago when I said, man, when you going to get some rest? And what you say to me when I say you're going to get some rest? What you say? You say you're going to right, you're gonna rest later. You say you have plenty of time to do that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got Dude don't go to bed till 3 a.m. He back up at 8 a.m. popping stories out. I gotta be like that, you know. So ask my wife, man. I'm up till 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm typing. That's when I do my best write-ups because nobody's making any noise. The kids asleep, and it's just me, the Lord, and my cell phone or whatever I'm doing my work for, you know. And I just go in. That's where I get my best. My best stories have come at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning when nobody's around me. The Lord, my phone, and a cup of something to drink to keep me going, some coffee or whatever to keep me up. And I might go to sleep for 3 hours.
Get back up and keep going.
What it is, trying to get there, man. It's trying to get to that spot, you know.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's dope.
Sleep when I'm dead, man.
Let's get into some stuff, man. There's a lot going on, man. A lot. We probably won't get to everything, but we definitely gonna start with this. Last night, 1-point victory, Stanford over Arizona. Another great game. I tell you, man, the women's Final Four, you know, was amazing. But tell me, in your words, you know, what happened? McDonald had a bad shoot night, missed a lot of free throws, had an opportunity at the end, pushed a double team tour. Just tell me a little bit about the game last night.
That game was ugly because them two teams knew each other so well. So it wasn't going to be anything you could show me that I haven't seen. You play them twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year, depending on the tournament, Track-12 tournament. So there wasn't anything that Tara Vanderveer could show Adia Barnes that she hasn't seen, and nothing Adia Barnes could show her she hasn't seen. So it just came down to people making plays. And at the end of the day, Stanford had more talent. Simple as that. They had more talent. Yep. And Haley Jones was a top 5 recruit that could have went anywhere. She chose Stanford. You had Cameron Brink, number 3 in the 2020 class as well. She could have went anywhere. So you did, and then you had players like Russell Wilson's sister, who's just a defensive stopper and defensive stopper to make open shots. And you had Kiana Williams. So, and the thing is, Arizona missed about 30 layups. If they could have made a layup, they win the game. They missed how many open shots did they miss? A lot of them, brother. McDonald created for them and got people looks because she still was making the right moves. She wasn't just forcing shots. She was making the right play. But at some point, you get sick of people missing easy shots. So you start saying, I'm going to shoot this no matter what. Because the trust factor kind of wanes a little when your guys aren't knocking any. They were missing so many easy shots. But they're so tough. And they're so gritty. And if that didn't do anything, it's going to push recruits to Tucson. She'll get recruits off of that, just being a Final Four participant. She didn't have to win the title. Now, the scary part is when she get that 4 or 5-star recruit that she don't have now to go with the dogs that she already had. Yes, they're coming. So, and I believe McDonald's going to come back. She's not going pro. So that team should be really good again. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little down because I did want her to win, but I'm not mad because Tara Vanderveer is such a pioneer in this game. And she went 29 years without a championship. She won 1 in 90, 1 in 92, and hasn't won one since. She got there a few times, but, you know, the likes of Shamika Holtzclaw and Samika Randall and Tamika Catchings. And then another time she got there, it was Candace Parker in her way. So, you know, she's had her chances, but those kinds of players were in the way. So it's a good thing for this. It's a great sport. And I'm just happy that they put on such a great tournament. And it was just good to watch. It was good to watch and good to see as a fan. Definitely. As anyone loves, you had to love that. That was a great. It wasn't pretty, but it was a good game. It's a good game. Great game. So pretty much what I saw last night. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Appreciate that. Tonight, 9:20 p.m. Big game tonight, NCAA championship. Yeah, can't wait. Gonzaga Baylor. We didn't get to see this a few months ago, but we get to see it tonight. You wrote a great article, which I read a couple hours ago. Great article. Tell me a little bit about what I'm gonna word it like this. What does Baylor need to do to win this game? Gonzaga is favored. Obviously, you know, Jalen Suggs, and I just got done, you know, looking at the football highlights, you know, let alone the basketball highlights.
Man,
you know what I mean? But Jalen Suggs, Timmy, and those guys, what does Baylor need to do to win the game tonight?
Baylor's got to make threes. If they make threes, Baylor wins because that's their thing. When they're not making threes, they struggle because they don't have an inside game. No one on their team is really an inside guy. They get a lot of putbacks and a lot of easy buckets off of their guards, breaking people down. getting doubled, missing, then the weak side rebounds. That's how they get their inside points. They don't get them off of what Gonzaga. Gonzaga has a low post presence and Timmy that they can throw the ball in and say, go get me a bucket. And for Gonzaga to win, they have to neutralize Timmy. You have to neutralize him. You can't let him just dominate like he's been doing. And for Baylor will have to also be physical with Gonzaga. I want to see how Gonzaga deals with physical touching on the perimeter because Davion Mitchell and Butler are going to put their hands on you. They're physical guards. So
they are.
That's going to be those two things. If Baylor can be physical on the perimeter, make threes, and control Timmy, they have a great shot at winning. But this is going to be different than Saturday. A lot of people think, looking at the game with UCLA, that Baylor's going to win. They don't. A lot of people don't understand Baylor.
Can't look at it like that.
Baylor wants to play the same style that Gonzaga normally plays, up and down. UCLA took the air out of the ball, and UCLA was one of the best defensive teams in the tournament, and Gonzaga still put 93 on them. They still scored 93. So if they get into a run and shoot, I like the opportunity for Gonzaga to have some success because that's who they are. That's who they are.
Yeah,
so
that's who they are. That's who they are.
So at the end of the day, I think both teams have things they can do to the other. And it's so many good guards in this game and wing players that I don't really know who to side with. If I had to say who had the better 4 or 5 wing guard guys, I would say it's probably Baylor because the kid Meyer, the white guy off the bench, he's a problem. Yeah. He's a problem.
Yeah, I like him.
You got T, Flagler, Butler, Mitchell, and Meyer. All of them can create you a shot, and they can get their own shot. So, but then Gonzaga has Suggs, Nembhard, Kispert, and I ain't know Kispert could jump like that. He dunked that joint the other day off the bunnies were ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't see him that much.
I put in the end of the article. Do you remember the name I put in there? Jay Ayayi. He's the guy
Number
that
11.
has to be. He's the guy that has to be the difference maker because he can do everything. He defends, he rebounds, he scores. He's got that. He got that Nicholas Batum kind of game, which he learned how to play.
Good comparison.
Over in France. He played under Nicholas Batum over in France, and a lot like Boris Diaw, he was at their camps every year learning how to play. And Tony Parker is the king over there. And Tony Parker told people when he got here, that dude gonna be special. So if he plays well, I think Gonzaga wins this. It's a toss-up, but I'm going with Gonzaga. I think it's their time. That shot the other night was kind of destiny to me. The backboard 3. I know. Not go to overtime. It's time. It's kind of their time. Like I said, if Mark Few don't win with this team, he'll never win one. He'll never win one. So
I agree.
Yep.
I agree, and especially after a couple of years, getting there and losing to Carolina, that was a good team, losing to Carolina. But this is the best team he's ever had. So, like you said, even though Baylor might have the depth of guards, when you got those elite guys like Suggs and like you said, and great, and like you said, Kispert and stuff like. So it's going to be a good one. I just want to see a good game. Me too. I just want to see a good game for sure. Me
too.
Yes. So some big news. A couple hours ago. You text me and broke the news. I think even before I even knew, I said, I had to put the shirt on. Hubert Davis, now the head coach, North Carolina first black coach. Just talk about the hire, man, and I know there was a couple other names that was thrown out. I figured that it would stay in the Carolina family. I know some outside name mentioned and even some inside names mentioned, but definitely Hubert was the best guy. Being there 9 years under Roy, playing 12 years in the NBA, recruiting like he's helped Roy recruit. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Perfect hire, man. Perfect hire. You get a younger guy, and see, Carolina's the kind of job. Hubert Davis could be there until he's 70. He ain't got to go nowhere. He could do 20 years. As long as he don't get into any trouble and he's winning at the rate they're used to winning at, he on the worst. He'll be there. They don't hire outside their family. They stay within the family. That's a family job. So I knew Wes Miller had a shot because he played there. And I knew and I did know that they were going to reach out to some other big names that, the Jay Wrights, just to see and make sure they don't want it. But why would Jay Wright leave Villanova? No real reason to leave Villanova to come to Carolina where you've done what you've done at Villanova. You go to Carolina, them expectations are a little bit more. They're a little bit more, at Villanova, even though they hiding over now because you won 2 of the last 5 championships. They're still very high down, in Carolina. So good hire, very good hire. You're going to get a younger, he's 50 years old. You'll get a guy that can recruit. a guy that the players respect, a guy that is going to demand respect from the players. And the key is, like I said, you're getting a guy that knows what the Carolina way. He knows the way that they want stuff done in Chapel Hill and Tobacco Road. So that's the key. He'll be able to sell the program because he played in the program and he's been a part of it.
Yeah.
And you had to know that he was going to get this job at some point. He left a $650,000 a year radio gig, come sit on the sideline and make less money.
Yeah.
So you knew the goal was to get to this position. And I think Roy looked at it like, I got 3 titles, getting a little old. I think Kessler transferring was the final straw for Roy. I think that was the final straw. Like, you know what, man? I may not have it no more. I can't keep kids here. And Kessler's situation is just one of many. But for you to lose a guy like that had to be like, that stung because, you had plans for him for at least another year. So I think that helped. And I think Roy was debating and that kind of like pushed him out the door a little. And Roy's the kind of guy I just love the way Roy does things. Roy does things the right way. He's a great guy. He knows it's Hubert Davis' time. It's time. Juwan, look at what Juwan's doing at Michigan. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. These young black guys, it's time to get these black guys a shot. It's time to get these black guys a shot, So I'm happy for the hire, and I think Hubert's going to do just fine. So Hubert's going to be like Kevin Ollie at Connecticut. He just not going to get in trouble like Kevin Ollie. Watch.
Right. Yeah, definitely, man. Well said. Like you said, I know with some whispers of Jerry Stackhouse too, but Stackhouse didn't have the resume that Hubert had, man. So I'm glad they went with Hubert.
Yeah, he put the time in, man.
So. Yeah, it means a lot.
Man, he's been in the trenches for 9 years, man. Yeah, it means a lot. There's a lot of weight. A lot of weight.
Awesome. So definitely, man. A lot of news in college basketball. I wanna go over to the NBA for a little bit. Joel Embiid came back the other night. It's always fun to see him and Cat go against each other now because they had that tussle last year. They got that tour. But I guess my question is now, to me, before he got hurt, he was the MVP, of the league before he got hurt. I know somebody said LeBron at that time. Somebody said Harden at that time. But at the time he got hurt, I think it was him. Do you think he has an opportunity to get back in the race and win it? And my second part of that is, who do you think right now is the leader for the MVP? And I think most would say between Jokic and Harden, unless you got somebody else you want to throw in there.
Good point you made. They give that with talent, and they still somehow got that 1 seed with Doc. That makes him be a viable candidate just off that alone. But the 3 weeks will hurt if they go. He's definitely still a candidate, but I think Jokic hasn't missed a game, and the Nuggets have gotten hot, and that Aaron Gordon pickup does a lot for them as a team. I still think right now it's that bearded guy Harden, man. You don't go from being the alpha dog in Houston and having to put up 40 to just saying I'm going to distribute and get mines because I'm going to be the lead guy and not miss a beat. And KD ain't played since he been there hardly. And they went on a road trip and won at the Lakers, the Suns. Kyrie or him didn't play some of them games. It was just hard in a lot of them nights, and I'm like, this guy here, man, I got a new respect for him.
Me too.
I knew he was special, but if I'm the Sixers, I would be kicking myself not trading Ben Simmons for him right now. There's no way you don't trade Ben Simmons for him. There's no way. You say, Ben Simmons, we love you, but can you imagine Harden and Embiid together with Tobias Harris?
It'll be over. And
a shooter like Steph Curry. And Steph Curry and them guys, Thibault and all them guys that play good defense and get after it. And the rookie they got from Kentucky, Maxey and all them guys. Can you imagine him?
He's playing great.
And then Shake Milton's playing good.
And that's the point. And you made a great point there, because this is the thing with the Harden thing. It's not even just that what he would do with that team, with Embiid, like you said, the PC said, but also it keeps him away from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So, and that's what people don't understand. Like, I got a friend that's a Philly fan. That's what I told him. He didn't think that Harden would be able to adjust. I told him, I said he did it in OKC, just he didn't do it on that level. distribute and the ball in his hand. So so he proved that he could adjust. And POV, as a Heat fan, I know you see the jersey back here. As a Heat fan, I'm mad because we didn't want to get Tyler Hero up. I would have drove Tyler Hero to the airport.
Man. Ain't that crazy,
bro? Myself.
Ain't that crazy?
Come on, man. Hey, POV, when I read that, man, I said, you know what? That's why I didn't want to trade Hero for Lowry, because I said, if we're not going to trade him for Harden,
they're not trading for Lowry.
Lowry,
34 years old on his last leg, man. Lowry's best years behind him. Yeah, and I'm with you. I'm sitting here saying, I think a lot of people underestimated the greatness of James Harden. I think we take it for granted because it's just like we don't like it because it's all a step back, it's all the dribble. But you don't even realize this dude get 30 and average 10 assists a night.
Yep.
And just think about all the open shots he creates for people that he makes average guys look really good. I mean, a lot of them guys on the rosters he's been on haven't been that good. And they look at Eric Gordon and them. You haven't heard much from them since he left. PJ Tucker, all them open threes he got in the corner. But that was because of James Harden. So people just didn't respect him enough. And I was actually one of them that knew he was great, but I don't think I knew he was this great. So I'm on record as saying he shocked me with how great he really is. He is great. And when we sit down and go top shooting guards of all time, he's in the top 5. He has to make a top. You got Mike.
Yeah, Kobe, that's a good argument. We got to do that.
And Mike, Kobe, D. Wade, the only thing he don't have is a ring. He's better than Ray Allen. He does more than Reggie Miller did. Now,
what do we consider? Is Jerry West a 1 or 2? Because they always flip-flop Jerry West. They
flip him as a 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I put him as a 1 because I think he handled the ball
more. I do too.
He scored a lot, but he also handled the ball a lot. It's almost like Pistol Pete Maravich. He was a 2, but he handled the ball a lot. So
good point. Good point. Yeah.
I'm gonna put Harden in my top 5 shooting guards.
Yeah.
And now, do I ever think he'll overtake the top 3? Probably not, because Wade got 3 rings. Wade was Finals MVP, and Wade carried the franchise, as did Kobe, as did Jordan. He carried the Rockets, but he never got over the hump. His biggest problem was what's the stain on his career is Game 7 against the Warriors and Game 6 the year that KD tore his Achilles. Those 2 games against the Warriors that they should have won, 27 misses in a row from the 3-point line. Then Game 6 the next year, KD not even there. He's hurt. And y'all let them come back and finish you off for the season. So for me, them 2 will always stain him. But they're not enough to keep him out the top 5. He's a top 5 shooter. You can have Reggie or Ray Allen as your 5th guy. I'm gonna take Reggie because he carried the franchise. And Ray Allen's 6th.
Reggie don't get enough love, bro. Reggie Miller don't get enough love from me.
He carried a small market, man. He made them formidable in a small market. He had dudes like the Davis brothers that couldn't score. If you put the Davis brothers in the gym all night and say, get 5 jumpers and you can go home, they'll be in there till the next morning. The
Davis brothers and Derek McKee, you know what I mean? The cats like that, you know what I'm saying? Got him working a record job and stuff.
Travis Best and all them guys. He made
Austin Crochet.
Mark Jackson was a great assist guy, but he made him look better than he was. Reggie Miller did a lot for that franchise. So, but I think Harden is right now. Harden and Jokic are my guys for the MVP. LeBron was probably right there too, but he won't be able to make up this time.
Yeah, he was probably going to get it. I think
he was definitely
there.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
But I would say Harden right now. Harden is just, even on a team that's stacked, it takes a guy like him to make all the pieces fit, and he's doing that. So I got to give him some credit for that. Yeah. Yep.
Well said. Give me your thoughts on the Drummond deal, the buyout deal to Lakers, because I know you had said that you didn't think he was too big of a difference than Howard and McGee, and they straight messed up. I mean, you had to keep one of those guys last year.
Yeah, you did.
Right?
That was a bad move.
McGee, Howard, so they messed up.
A bad move. Yeah.
And to me, they had to get somebody, and I know that Drummond isn't the defensive guys that they are, but I think he can help them obviously rebounding the basketball, scoring a little bit, but more just to that big body. Because Marc Gasol, I mean, he just doesn't have a great passer still for a big, but he just doesn't have it. But give me your thoughts on the Drummond signing, and if you think that's enough to get them out of the West with the Denvers doing what they did, with the Clippers doing what they've done, and Utah, obviously the best team in the NBA. Just talk a little bit about that.
I think it's enough to get out the West because you still got the two best players in the league together, the best duo in the NBA. I mean, yeah, we could say it's maybe KD and Harden or KD and Kyrie, but until we see it and they win something together, the best duo is LeBron and AD. Now, the key is AD injury, Kevin Durant injury,
right.
or is he going to be able to come back? So, me personally, Drummond is enough to get out the West. I think the physicality that he brings is enough to bother Jokic at times. Throwing in, you still got Gasol, you still got Montrezl Harrell, so you still got other big bodies, you still got AD if he can play. I do like what Denver did, but I still don't know if it's enough because in a 7-game set, LeBron's going to guard Jamal Murray at some points. And that's where Murray struggles with his size and length, like he did in the bubble. LeBron guarded him a lot in those last few games, and it took away from his aggressive. He couldn't get to the rim, and when he did, LeBron was still there. So Utah, they live and die with the three, and I know that's the style they play. But if the threes aren't going, how they gonna manufacture other points? Because they live and die out there with that shot. Phoenix has enough to really make anybody sweat, but Ayton's not there yet. I know that's D Skinnerboard. He just ain't there yet. I like him, but he still need to. He need
another year. I think
he has David Robinson potential, but he has to show it. He has David Robinson potential, but he needs to show us that. And it'll come. He's young, still young. Chris Paul has made him a formidable opponent, though, because they're really and you got Booker. I'm gonna tell you who's been really good for them. Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges been very good. Yes, sir.
And Cam Johnson from Carolina.
And Cam Johnson.
Yeah, they've been good. But and Jay Crowder was a good pickup because he bangs. He's tough. He's tough.
Yeah,
that's not enough. He's tough. See, I was looking at that. The Heat lost him and Derrick Jones Jr. They were big.
Yeah, we did.
Year. They were big last year.
They were.
They were big, strong guys that are athletic and could guard multiple positions
versatile,
and make open shots. Versatile. And that was what the Heat beat. Versatility is what got y'all to the finals. Being able to switch all 5 at the same time and not miss a beat. But in the West, the Clippers, I put up their failure right now. Until they prove otherwise, that Kawhi, Paul, and now Paul George has a problem with his toe that limits his explosiveness. So
I've seen that. Yeah.
Like Jalen Rose said, he's either going to be pandemic P or playoff P. He don't have no in between because of how, so now he's the most polarizing player in the playoff and in the NBA because you don't know if he's going to be the P that we saw in Indiana that could take a team to the Western Conference Finals or the P that can't do nothing right in the West in the playoff. He has not been good in the playoffs no years in the West. He's been awful. He was bad in OKC, and he's been bad with the Clippers. He's not been good out West in the playoffs. So you got outplayed by Joe. I got outplayed by Joe Ingles a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Joe Ingles, man. Joe Ingles was talking stuff to him and everything. You're a borderline superstar, and you letting a guy that can't do nothing but make an open shot talk stuff to you. Come on, Paul. But I don't think they have enough in the West to beat the Lakers if they're fully healthy. Nobody does. I think the one team would maybe be. It would probably still be the Clippers just because of the Kawhi Paul George thing.
Kawhi. I hope we see it this year. At least if we see the matchup.
They're fragile in the mental though. Something's not right. They're mentally. Batum was a good
pickup. Does Rondo and Ty Lue help that? Knowing LeBron, being able to think they maybe get inside LeBron's head, knowing kind of what the Lakers do. What do you think? Boogie Cousins 10-day deal.
They got 5 fighters on their team. They got Beverly, Rondo, Markieff Morris, DeMarcus Cousins, and it's another dude on their team that want to fight everybody. I forgot. They got 5 dudes.
They got some brawlers, man.
And Rondo. They got 5 fighters. Yeah, they got some dudes that want to fight everybody. But what I'm irritated about them is you could have got Rondo without having to get up Lou Williams. All you had to do assignment offseason. You gave up your best bench guy. You gave up your best bench guy.
That's my thing. I'm glad you said that because I thought maybe I was crazy because I keep hearing people say, well, Lou Will wasn't doing nothing, so trading for Rondo no big deal. But I'm in the same thing. You could have got him in the offseason, still had Lou Will, and
still had
Rondo.
20, so that guaranteed 20 off the bench. And don't people forget, Lou Will took he averaged 34 a game against the Juggernaut Warriors, that KD last year in Golden State. They took them 6 games. Sure did. Him and Montrezl Harrell was killing. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out.
Harris.
Yes, and I'm trying to figure out.
Then they trade Tobias that year. Did they trade Tobias?
Trade him.
They traded the boss.
2019.
Yeah. Traded the boss.
Yep. This is third year in Philly.
Yep.
So, but could have got Rondo and kept you number one. And I do like Terrence Mann and Luke Kennard, but they're not Lou Williams. They don't have playoff clout to Lou Williams. Lou Williams is a bona fide. He clutch, man.
Yeah.
He has no fear of the moment. We don't know if Kennard and Mann are ready for that yet. We don't know. And that's a huge that people not looking at. That's huge. You're getting wrong. You could have got Rondo when the Lakers didn't want him. And you knew that's what Kawhi Leonard said you needed. He said we need a point guard. We need a guy that can set everyone else up because me and Paul George have to do it too much. And to me, giving up that kind of offense off the bench, it's gonna come at the like Michigan in the tournament with Isaiah Livers. I kept saying it's gonna bite him in the butt, and I having that 16 tonight. And it won the night they couldn't make shots. They needed a guy like that. Not having Lou Williams. The Lou Williams, it could be a 2-2 series with the Lakers or with the Suns or the Jazz. And they could, or the Nuggets, and they can lose that series because they don't have that bench guy that the Nuggets got. The Nuggets got a Will Barton that can come off the bench and get 20. The Jazz got Jordan Clarkson.
Man. Sixth man of the year. Yeah.
The Suns got Cam Johnson putting buckets in. And they got the little guard, what's the little guard name?
Cameron Payne.
He been playing well. So you're getting good bench points from them. Who do the Clippers have that they can trust in the playoffs off the bench? They don't have anybody right now.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I guess Ibaka's going to probably still start. Rondo is their only hope of the bench because he's been there. But you gave up a bona fide 20-point guy off the bench in the playoffs easily. Lou Williams would get 20 any night, 30 any night. That's why I think they made a mistake. You should have signed Rondo without having to give up an asset to get him. You could have got him for nothing.
I agree.
Just pay him, So
I agree.
That was a bad move on their part. Bad move on their part.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Well said. Yeah. And you talk, and I know we talked about out east. We talked about Philly. Obviously, we talked about Brooklyn. I mean, they're clearly the favorites. I mean, I haven't seen nothing like that offense they're putting out there. And Miami, we're trying to get that versatility back, getting Bielitsa, getting Oladipo, which I was fine with the Oladipo deal just because we didn't have to give up really anybody, and we can let him walk in all season if we don't like what we see, and maybe try to get Kyle Lowry on a short deal. That's my thinking. But I want to talk about Milwaukee. They're kind of flying under the radar this year. But they're kind of picking up steam. PJ Tucker, they signed him after things didn't work out in Houston there. Drew Holiday is so much better than Eric Bledsoe. he just got an extension, $160 million. Do they have a chance to come out east or at least compete with the Phillies and the Brooklyns of the world? Milwaukee, can they compete? Okay.
I don't think they can beat the Heat.
So we still got the number.
I still don't believe in them yet. I got to see it. Drew Holiday is a good player, but he hasn't done anything in the playoffs for me to go. His one claim to fame is the year that Philly beat the Bulls when Derrick Rose tore his knee up. He was the best player that year.
Oh, yeah, that too.
No, when Derrick Rose tore his knee, he was on that Sixers team. Wasn't he that beat the 8? Yeah, in Portland.
Yeah, he was on that. Yeah.
I think Drew Holiday is a good player. I don't think he moves the meter enough to put them in the top, to put them ahead of the Sixers or the Nets. I think even again, the Heat are right there. You got Adebayo, a healthy Jimmy Butler. Oladipo looks like he's going to be comfortable. So you still got them three teams. And the Heat know how to defend Giannis. They know how to protect against the rim and defend the wall, put the wall up on him, and make him a dude. They do that better than anybody. They defend him well. So I still don't think Milwaukee's there. I just don't think their roster makeup, to me, yells they can get out of the East. I think they can be a semifinal. They can get to the conference finals. They're good enough to do that. But I just don't believe they're good enough to get to the finals. I just don't see it with the enough. Boston may be struggling, but they don't have the talent to make anybody sweat.
Yeah, that's true.
Boston's talented enough. They're not. They have two superstars and a guy like Kemba and a guy like Marcus Smart would throw fear. And to me, anytime I'm playing them, I'm nervous because at any point, them guys can all do what they do. So I don't think Milwaukee's a real finals contender this year. I don't. Nope.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I appreciate you saying that. I didn't think so either, but I started hearing some whispers of some people saying they flying under the radar. So I wanted to, definitely get your perspective on them, because I do think that they still may be a piece away, from that. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Okay.
And again, man, Real Sports Fan Podcast, man, here with Devon POV Mason, 7:45 p.m. April 5th, first show of April. Appreciate everybody listening. I'm gonna take your time a little bit more, and then we're gonna get out of here. Again, I appreciate you jumping on. I know you with the family and everything, man. So, like you said, man,
cool.
definitely appreciate it. Sam Darnold traded for 3 picks to Carolina. Now, POV, I want you to let me know, is this more of a Jets thing where they see that, they like Zach Wilson that much from BYU, or they see that Darnold's not the person, or is it more from the Carolina side where they're saying Teddy Bridgewater, isn't the guy? Is Teddy Bridgewater more of a I've heard him kind of be like a stopgap guy, kind of like a Tyrod Taylor. Is it more of an indictment on Teddy Bridgewater, or is it more Carolina thinks about Sam Darnold? What do you think?
I think it's a 50-50. I think it's a little bit of both. I think you get Carolina saw that Bridgewater's a check down quarterback. He can't throw the ball downfield consistently. He's not a bad quarterback, but with what they're trying to do offensively with Joe Brady coming in with his scheme, you need a guy that can push the ball down the field. And the weather in Carolina does get bad at times. You need to be able to push that ball downfield. He can't do that. Secondly, Christian McCaffrey is their best player. You got to get a guy that can make the defense respect the passing game to keep bodies bombs. He gets out of back on him. So I think Donald can play. I think Donald just was on a bad team. Like I said, the Jets stand for just in the season. You know what I mean? So and since 2012, the Jets have traded every first round pick up to 2018. Donald. Yeah.
Yep. I seen that stat you put up. Yeah, that's crazy.
2012 has been traded at some. That's sad, man. That's sad. You can't build a team like that. That's when you're supposed to build your team. So they traded away guys like Leonard Williams and Sheldon Richardson. Them guys are good players. They're not sorry players. I mean, some of the guys they trade and some of the guys they did get of were busts, but them guys bust, and you move them. And Leonard had a record of shots, the hall, you know what I mean? So, I'm just I think both teams are more so getting what they need. I think the Jets saying, hey, we want Zach Wilson, so we're gonna move you. And I don't know if that's the move or not. Quarterbacks are kind of what it is. You hope that they don't be a bust, but you don't know until they get out there. And I think the Panthers are saying we can't go any further than in our division. Tampa's gonna be loaded again. The Saints won't fall off much because the Saints still have talent and Sean Payton can coach. And you have the Falcons with all the talent they have. They just can't put it together. But you have to be saying, how do we keep up in our division unless we make some moves? Because you don't have enough talent with Teddy Bridgewater at competing in that division. And I still don't think they're going to compete. But this gives them a better chance, I think they believe. That division is still, as long as Brady's around, the Bucs will win that division. So it doesn't matter. They brought their whole roster back from the Super Bowl. That's never been done. That's never been done before. And you know why they were able to do that, don't
you? Did he get some more money up? Did he restructure?
No, the way the pay rate goes, schedule is 19 extra weeks to spread out your money, so you don't end up going over the cap. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, I read that the other day. So basically, they do still.
I forgot about AB though too. AB still out there, right? Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he's the only one. He's the only piece that ain't.
But he's
he wants more money.
Yeah, I heard Seattle's looking at him, possibly.
Hello?
Can you hear me all right? I got you now.
I can hear you
back.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we back.
But yeah. So that's interesting, man. And let me ask you this. let me give you a draft question real quick, and then I'm gonna get you out of here because I'm real interested in this, and I must say, I don't really follow a lot of the college football players until it gets close to the draft. I know you've done a lot of homework. I was talking to my man Big Sam the other day about this, but Kyle Pitts, the tight end for Florida, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard. I think it was. I don't know if it was Mel Kiper. I think maybe it was Tom Mache that he was the number 2 prospect. I think it was Mel Kiper. Is he going to go? Like, how high is he going to go? I guess what I'm asking. Because I've never seen a tight end. Most tight ends projected out how normally don't land out like that. I know we talked about the Vernon Davises and Ebrons and stuff like that. But yeah, talk to me about this guy and how high this kid and how high can he actually go. But hell of an athlete.
I think he's going 4th to the Falcons. I think the Falcons
I like that.
Can do stretch the field. He ran a 4.4.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I have him going to the Falcons. I think you got to look at the Falcons roster. Julio.
Yeah.
If Julio's got a good 2 years left at the most, this guy can be through and also be a blocker. He's a job. He can block. So I think he goes 4th to the Falcons, unless the Falcons decide they want a quarterback. And because of Matt Ryan getting in last year. But I think if I'm the Falcons, I take him 4th. I wait to get a quarterback to next year. And I signed Matt Ryan to another. That's what I do. Matt Ryan still got two, 3 good years left in him. He still can play.
Yeah, I agree. A new coach too, and with Titans OC coming over there, Arthur Smith. That'd be good.
They brought in the Titans coordinator.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be
the Falcons personnel is though, but I like the offense he runs. But I think you have to. Yeah. I think if Kyle Pitts is there, they probably take him at 4. I think he'll get picked 4th. I really do. He's that good, man. Cool. He had me when Bama played them in the SEC championship. He had me scared, man. He had me scared. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared of that dude. Him and Tony, number 1, they had me nervous, man, because them dudes are hard to cover. They hard to cover, man. They hard to cover. So. Pitts is and don't forget, he abused Patrick Surtain, probably the best corner in the draft. He abused Surtain that night. True. Abused him that night. So, 6'5", runs a 4.4. A big catch radius. Tough, can run.
Gotta take him. I get it.
He's a game changer, man. There aren't many game changers, but he's one of them. He's definitely a game changer. Definitely.
Cool. I was wondering about that. Cool.
Yeah, he's special. He's special.
That's cool. Man, I definitely appreciate it, man. But before we go, man, tell everybody. I know you got a show tonight at 8 p.m. Man, tell everybody who's gonna tune in tonight at 8, man, what they can look, forward to with the show tonight at 8.
Oh, you can catch me tonight 8 o'clock on Soul 100 POV Sports Show. It's just me by myself. I just basically did an NCAA tourney, NBA, MLB show just to talk about what's been going on in the tourney with men's and women. Gave a little breakdown on the history of Tara Vanderveer and Dawn Staley's relationship back to the 1996 Olympics. They became friends, and how even when happy because that's her friend, it's a fraternity. You might beat somebody, but in that hard. Last night, Vanderveer beat Barnes, but she was happy, but she was like kind of like relaxed about it. Like, I know I won, but I would have liked to see her win too because of what she's done and how she's developed that team, But that's just the beauty of sports, man. But you can check it out at 8 o'clock tonight, Soul Talk 100, and then you can check me out on Wednesday from 8 to 8:15 with POV's Timeout on Soul Talk 100 as well.
Awesome.
So
dope, man. Dope, man. Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, man, I definitely appreciate it, man. You jumping on this stuff, ain't the last time we're gonna get together. I got a couple of things I want to talk to you about and get involved with as well, man. So we'll definitely talk, man. Look, you enjoy the family, man. You out at dinner, you can jump on with me, man. Again, I appreciate it. And Real Sports Fan Podcast, and we'll talk, man. POV in the building. We out here. Yes, sir, bro.
Thanks, man.
Be safe, man.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Love you, bro. Be good.
All right, man. All right, love you too, bro.
Love you too,
all
man.
Right, peace.
Thanks, man. All right. Love
Yes,
you too,
sir.
bro. Have a good one. All right.
Bye.